What if I told you, this war is not being fought where you think it is, not just in the skies, not just with missiles and fighter jets, but in something far more powerful, the global economy itself. On the surface, it may look like the United States and Israel are in control, precision strikes, advanced weapons, dominance in the air. But beneath that surface, a completely different reality is unfolding. And in that reality, no one is truly winning. From the outside, it looks simple. The US and Israel launch airstrikes. Targets are hit. Infrastructure is damaged, and headlines suggest dominance. Even figures like Donald Trump have publicly framed such conflicts as victories. But war is rarely that simple, because what you see is only half the story. Yes, air superiority is real. Yes, modern weapons are devastating. But Iran's most critical military infrastructure? Much of it lies deep underground, hidden, protected. So while bombs fall from the sky, the core of Iran's military capability remains largely intact. And that's where the first illusion breaks. There are actually two wars happening at the same time. The first one is visible: fighter jets, missiles, explosions. But the second war, it's invisible and far more dangerous. This is a war of geography and economics. At the center of it all lies a narrow stretch of water, Strait of Hormuz. It may not look important on a map, but nearly 20% of the world's oil and gas flows through this single passage. Now imagine this: not a full blockade, not a complete shutdown, just uncertainty. A drone sighting here, a missile incident there, a few naval mines in the water. Suddenly, shipping companies hesitate. Insurance costs skyrocket, routes become risky. And just like that, the entire global energy system starts to shake. Here's what makes this strategy so effective. Iran doesn't need to close the strait completely. It only needs to make the world feel unsafe, and that changes everything. Fewer ships pass through. Oil supply tightens, prices begin to rise, and when oil prices rise, every country feels it. Fuel becomes expensive, transport costs increase, inflation spreads. This isn't just a regional conflict anymore. This is global. And suddenly, military power alone is no longer enough. Now the situation becomes even more complicated. The United States and Israel find themselves in a difficult position. They have three options. Option 1, negotiation. But after launching attacks, sitting down for talks may look like weakness. Option 2, do nothing. But rising oil prices will hurt their own economies. Public pressure will grow. Option 3, escalate the war. A ground invasion. But Iran's geography, mountains, vast terrain, and defensive depth makes such a war long, costly, and unpredictable. History has shown this before. Wars like these are easy to start, but incredibly difficult to end. And this is where the trap closes. No matter what they choose, there is a cost. Here's the most important part. Iran is not trying to win in the traditional sense. It doesn't need total victory. Its goal is much simpler: to survive and to create pressure. As long as uncertainty continues, the global system remains unstable, and that pressure doesn't just stay in the Middle East. It travels into economies, into politics, into leadership decisions. So, who is winning this war? The answer is uncomfortable. No one. The US and Israel show power, but struggle to find a solution. Iran creates pressure, but also faces its own losses. And in the middle of it all, the world pays the price. Because this war teaches us something important. Power is not just about weapons. Sometimes, a location, a strategy, and the right timing can challenge even the strongest nations. And that's why this is no longer just a regional conflict. This is a global crisis, playing out in ways most people never see.